Y'all, I'm gonna tell you, I've been trying to record this little intro for the last 5-10 minutes. It's the hair, it's hot. I ain't been wearing no hair, and I ain't used to it, and it ain't styled right. I'm gonna need y'all help. Tell me what I'm supposed to do with this shit. Please, somebody, anybody, help me. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna help the Real Housewives of Potomac, honey, because they need to get it all the way together. All of them got a little bit of a mess going on in their life. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. What's up? How you doing, Ray of Sunshines? We are going to review season 3, episode number 1 of the Real Housewives of Potomac. If it's your first time visiting my channel, what up, though? Click that red subscribe button, be a ray of sunshine. And since you're there, click the notification bell so you're alerted of all the videos I upload. This episode is appropriately titled, You Gotta Make Millions to Owe Millions. Let me tell you one more time. You gotta make millions to owe millions. All right then, B. I hear you, Karen. Anyway, so when we start the season off, honey, it is very much so fireworks cracking. We already know that the Huglers, yeah, it's specifically the husband owes the IRS for tax evasion $5 million in taxes. It was all over the news. We all saw it. And it was kind of sad because we know Miss Karen to be all frilly and she got all the money and the whatever. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. The first thing you see, though, is the ladies start talking about Karen and Ray's situation. Saying, well, you know, anybody talked to Karen since this happened? And Robyn says she had. And what Robyn gave as a tidbit is that Karen says she knows nothing about Ray's tax problems. Now, I don't know how many of y'all believe that. But since we own Karen, let's go ahead and talk about Karen. I don't know how many of us really believe that she didn't know. I mean, granted, he's probably gone because he does have several corporations, multi-million-dollar corporations. But I can't see us not having a conversation unless we're totally disconnected. And as you see, when she was doing whatever she was doing in the kitchen, being domestic, I don't know, taking pastries out of a pre-packaged store thing, being domestic for her husband. Is that what that was? Child, if that's being domestic, I should have husbands lined up. At least prospective husbands lined up, because that ain't domestic. Anyway, so he says, well, remember, I did tell you about it. I mentioned it to you. Mentioned means I said something, and that was her opportunity to ask more information. So she may not know the root, the gut, the good insides of the meat of the situation, but he mentioned it. And if she was really in tune with her husband when he mentioned it before it hit the fan and they have all these cease and desist or silence or whatever they're called, contracts, that was her opportunity to ask her husband, babe, what's going on? Tell me about it. I need to know more information so that I know how to support you. Y'all, this hair is killing me. I really need to know how to style it. I figure maybe I need to trim it up, honey. I don't know, looking like the Lion King. That's pretty much the gist of Karen. There's a little bit more. We'll talk about it when we get to Robyn, okay? Especially that whole dinner situation. Then you got Miss Giselle and her blossoming relationship and her new makeup line, Hugh. When we first see her, we see Ashley come to her for dinner. And the funny thing is, the one thing I latched onto is that Giselle had the nerve to call Ashley messy. And I'm all like, she is messy boots left and right, honey. She wears a hat and a coat because she is super duper messy. I mean, I like Giselle though, y'all. I like Giselle. I think Giselle right now is my favorite housewife of Potomac. But I was side-eyeing her like, girl, you know you can't say shit about nobody being messy. So, they too talked about Karen's situation. Ashley heard from Robyn that Karen didn't know. And they're both like, well, she had to have known. And then I want to say this. Let me just say this. Karen is older. Right? Do we know how old Karen is? Okay, Google, how old is Karen from the Housewives of Potomac? So Karen's birthday is coming up and she is 54 years old. Baby, Karen looks older than 54 years old. What I was gonna say was maybe she's from the school of when women didn't know what their husbands were doing. She's had way too much surgery because it makes her look older than 54, and 54 don't look like that no more. We know what 54, look at Angela Bassett. That's neither here nor there. I digress. Then Ashley begins to touch on her relationship with Michael. We'll save that. But Giselle gives her some advice and asks her if she's really ready to move back in with Michael and to make sure to take her time and also give it your all before you call it quits. Make sure calling it quits is what you want to do, because she knows what a messy divorce, big messy divorce looks like, honey. Okay? Then you got her with her little new boo, honey. Fuck him and feed him fish. All she has to do is fuck him and feed him, okay? The 2 F's, baby. I'm here for it. You gotta do a little bit more, but that's really the main gist of it. Fuck him and feed him. Ladies, would you agree or not? But they cute. Her little excitement and schoolgirl attitude when she sees him. Like when she, I haven't seen you in 2 days. That's when you is fresh and you really want to be around somebody all the time. So I'm excited to see where that relationship goes and how it blossoms for Miss Giselle. We all deserve to be happy and in love with successful, healthy relationships. And hopefully as it continues, this is where it blossoms and goes. So what, Miss Monique, they moved, her and her husband Chris moved. At first I was like, well, what they need to move for? It's 5 bedrooms. What? I don't understand. You only got 2 kids. I get you want to have more children, but wait a minute. Why are you moving? I know why. That was Chris's house pre-married. That was single Chris's house. Bitch, you don't want to be in no nigga single house where all the fucking and shit was going on. Child, no. So I'm all with her uprooting and moving to a bigger house, okay? But there were a few things that I was proud of Miss Monique about. One of which was we saw when the mama called her a heifer. You know how mamas is, honey. That mama in that era, it sound like my nanny. Oh, heifer. Hell, me, heifer. My mama, heifer. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Number one, I love that Chris was taken aback by how his mother responded to his wife. It's important that people know that my wife is now my family. Mom, I love you, but now that I'm married, this is my family, and all of that other shit is secondary. But I commend Monique of understanding the importance of him keeping a good, communicating, working, successful, healthy relationship with his mother. How he treats his mother is definitely how he's going to treat you. But keeping that open dialogue, him saying, though she doesn't like me, I feel like you need to make that relationship work. And I love that, because that was me with my husband. When he would be like, my mama getting on my nerves and she got a lot to say, a yibber yabber, jibber jabber, I would always say, that's your mother. That's your mother. Build that relationship, but set boundaries. And that's what Chris needs to do. He needs to set some boundaries with his mom about his wife. Then I was like, they got enough money to get a closet organizer. Come on through, because I got to organize my own closet. And I really think even when I have the money in excess, I won't be paying someone to organize my closet, because I don't want you in my shit. Anyway, let's keep it pushing to Miss Ashley. Her little sublet was super cute. You go into a sublet, if you've ever subletted or seen a sublet or subletted your place, right? It comes fully furnished and it's for a specific set of time. So all you need to really do is bring in your clothes. It's good for people who are single and are moving in somewhere to a new city, a new town, and need to get established. All of that is good. That gives you time to get to know the place and figure out where you want to go. And I thought her little sublet was cute. I also like that they showed us her real friend of 15 years, and they gave her a moment of spotlight to have some dialogue with her friend. And here's where I have questions. My question to you is, would you be going back to your husband after he told you, grabbed your shit and placed it on the couch and said, this is no longer our abode, you can get your shit and go, is pretty much what he said? That's a big deal to me. Like, we in this place together, and granted, you may have purchased it prior to me, but for you to say that this is no longer our home and that I have to go speaks volumes about how you see me as your wife, as a woman. Like, to me, that speaks volumes. The better thing for them to do is to go seek marriage counseling. I don't know why in the hell people don't want to go seek marriage counseling, but it is important that maybe they get that into their relationship, considering not only do they have the restaurant as an issue, but her taking care of her mother with his money is a problem. Ladies, let me say this. This is why it's very important that you have your own streams of income. I don't care if you are a stay-at-home wife. I don't care if you do support him. There are things that you can do so that you can have money coming in. Because if you want to help your mother, if you have a husband like Michael who does not really see the value in it or think you're overdoing it, you would be able to take care of your mother on your own with your side job spending money. You hear me? So I don't know if I would really be going back home right now without us having counseling. I don't know if I would be doing that. I mean, would you? They've talked. She even said the day before she moved back home that they had a little bit of a disagreement, a little bit of a shouting match about her mom again. So I feel like this is something that they need to have counseling about, really sit down and talk about. But I can see her wanting to help her mom. But did she do that without talking to her husband? Like, it's a lot of stuff. They need to go to counseling to fix that. That's it. That's all. That's the end of that. Let's talk about Miss Robyn, okay? When we see Robyn, Juan, and the boys in the sporting goods store. I'm looking at Robyn while she looking at Juan. I'm all like, she is so smitten by him still. So much so that she has been what we all have been before, stupid for a man. She's stupid for Juan. Like, you can see, she looks at him like he's the best thing since sliced bread. Like he's the best thing since donuts with glaze on them. Because that's the kind of shit I like. Snickers with caramel and nuts, honey. Reese's peanut butter cups. She is looking at him like, oh my God, I love that man. He's not looking at her like that, though. Ladies, he should be looking at you like that, okay? Furthermore, they're divorced. They still live in the same house. They're still sleeping in the bed. And she was proud to tell us they fuck occasionally. Bitch, he fucking you and you over here too. Even though he's saying y'all not married. Y'all not married, so he's really free to do what he wants. He can date like you had started trying to maybe do last season that you didn't follow through with. He could still date because you guys are not in a committed relationship. You say you're working on it now that money issues aren't a problem, but baby, get back to counseling for yourself and together if you really want this to work out. I feel so sorry and so sad for her. She's so pretty. But I am going to say Juan gave some good advice, telling her that you don't have to know all of Karen's business to support her as a friend. Even if you feel like there's some pieces missing, you don't need to know all her business to support her as a friend. And that is the fucking truth. That is what I believe. Because when someone that you are close to is comfortable enough, they will give you the tea on the situation. But if you constantly prodding and asking for information and being skeptical and sarcastic with me and throwing shade, I'm never going to tell you shit. But if you just be quiet and support somebody and be a listening ear for them like you were for that 3 hours on the phone, then you'll be winning. It brings me right on to dinner and the dinner conversation between Karen and Robyn. Karen had good intentions to bring Robyn to dinner or lunch or whatever that was, to talk and to thank her for being supportive. But Robyn, in her skepticism, wanting to throw shade and everything, was like, I just don't understand how you don't know. I can't really support you unless you're fully transparent. The fuck you mean I can't support you? I can support you as my friend, as a listening ear. Y'all, do you get that? I get that Karen is a little shady and is not giving all the information and wants to pretend that she's the upper echelon and things are going downhill fast for her. But support her because she's your friend. At least that's how I see it. And I would want people to support me if I was in some type of precarious situation. But then she kind of, told her, and in order for you to even owe millions, first off, Karen Hugler owes no one any money, and she's rich. On top of that, she went on to let her know that you cannot owe millions unless you make millions, baby. Please understand me when I tell you that is the truth. You gotta have millions on millions to owe any kind of million to the IRS, honey. That is the absolute, honest to God truth. But he has the money, right? He at least has the businesses that were making the money and should have been a little more upfront with the books or whatever to make sure that your taxes are getting done and you reporting shit correctly. But that's neither here nor there, because we're going to see how that shit ends up this season. It looks like it's going to be, we in for a ride, a messy ride, as Miss Giselle said. Ooh, this is going to be good. That's my favorite little clip of the entire season that they show every fucking week when they're giving us precursors or after curses or what's gonna happen next. Y'all know what I'm saying. Anyway, what did you think about season 3 episode 1? You gotta make money to owe money. What did you think about it? Let me know down below in the comments. I might have missed something because I'm trying to catch up, and guess what? I'm gonna stick with this because I'm here for the Housewives of Potomac. I'm gonna stick with it the entire season. Let's get into it. Let's get it together. Come back next week. Thank you so much for watching my review of the Real Housewives of Potomac. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. Do not forget to click the subscribe button and the notification bell before you exit this place, and the like button if you happen to just so like the Real Housewives of Potomac. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll see you on the next video.